So guys, we're back with another video. Let's get straight into it. Just by the way, this is a new series I'm starting calling Pep Talk. So every video I've ever created, the 400 videos, those are all practice for this series. This one is about how and why I will be escaping the 9-to-5 lifestyle and why I believe you should too, especially if you're in your 20s. Now, let's just get straight into the why. The biggest why you should escape the 9-to-5 lifestyle is because it is actually not sustainable. See, we have a very old systematic mindset when it comes to jobs. We think our 9-to-5 is sustainable, is realistic. That is something that will last us forever. But it's actually not. If you work at a very low company like I do, like I have, these companies will cut you off and get somebody to replace you pretty instantly. I remember one time I was applying for a job on Indeed and it said it had over 1,000 candidates apply for this job. So the way these companies see people is they don't see people as people. They see them as numbers. They see them as robots. Can this robot perform the task? Can this robot not perform the task? And what you actually learn if you go back in the day is that is why they gave us the 8-hour schedule, the 9-to-5. Because they eventually realized that there's not enough work to go around. And if you work your 9-to-5, you quickly understand this. Most of the time you're working a 9-to-5, you're doing busy work. Let's be real. You're doing busy work. You're not doing essential work. That's why what they decided to do, instead of paying you off your labor, by what I mean off your labor, let's just say you fold 8 clothes, you get $16. Right? That's getting paid off your labor. Instead, they pay you off your time. That's because there's not enough work to go around. If they paid you off your labor, instead of leaving at 5, you'd be leaving at 1 because you get all the work done. But instead, you're getting paid off your time. You're not getting paid off of what you produce or what you give to the company. It's funny, I saw a meme the other day and they said minimum wage is 3 hash browns. So take a McDonald's worker, for example. Within their first hour, let's say they're getting paid $15 an hour. Within their hour, they're already paying their wage. They're already producing enough where they're paying their wage. That's why they stretch it out to 8 hours, because they know that there's going to be times where the McDonald's isn't that busy and you're not really doing anything, but they're still able to keep you there. And if you're like, oh, let me go to my crib real quick and come back when it's actually busy, they can fire you, right? That's not really something they do. And then if we even go into higher levels careers, let's just talk about retirement, right? There's a lot of people I've worked for who were higher level and they had to retire. The thing is, especially with guys, they don't want to retire. And if you think about it, retirement is a trap and it's a little bit pointless. And I really want you to open your mind to this, because when I speak this, you may have instant fear or instant rejection, because this is against the establishment. This is against what people will tell you. Retirement is a trap. Retirement is pointless. Most people actually die when they retire. Look that up. Think about it. A guy who's been grinding 20 to 50. He's been grinding at his sales job, right? So much stress is on him every single day trying to get these cars out. Let's just say he works at a dealership, trying to get these cars out. And then at 55, he decides to retire. What actually happens to that guy? He usually dies, bro. Retirement is death. See, we weren't sent, we weren't made in God's image on this planet, on this plane of existence, to retire. I'm sorry. We weren't made to stop working. So a lot of you guys may have seen this video and think, oh, he's anti-work. No, quite the opposite. I don't think we were made to stop working. That's why when people retire, they broke. They kick the bucket because they're not doing anything. They're living a sedentary lifestyle. They're just going out fishing, drinking some beers, sitting down watching the TV. That's not what you want to do, and that's not what you should to do. You shouldn't even want to retire. I'll put it like that. You shouldn't even want to retire. I don't want to retire making videos. It's not something, once I get to this number of subscribers and once I make this amount of money, then I'm gonna retire and I'm not gonna do anything with my life. Stop making videos, but I'm still gonna work out. I'm still gonna provide some type of service. That's what we're meant to do. We're supposed to provide services to other people, to other human beings. So retirement is kind of a trap because it's telling you work, and then when you're old and you can't really do shit, and that's the time where you should actually be working possibly a little bit more physically for your health, that's when you should retire. And then that's when people die. And the system, guys, the system knows all of this. The system knows all of this. Even going back to school, you were made to be a factory worker. You were manufactured to learn it, to not learn information, to remember information, and then jot it down. So what they really did in school is just improve your memory, improve you being able to learn tasks, to take task, and then repeat it. And who is the manager of school, right? It's your teacher, it's your principal. So you always have somebody above you. This is why entrepreneurship is just such a wild concept to most people. Even when I even say entrepreneurship, some of you may cringe. Some of you be like, entrepreneurship, what? So you're saying you're an entrepreneur? Here's the thing. That is because you were manufactured in a system where they wanted to create a working class. They wanted to manufacture you into a worker. This goes back to the Rothschilds. This goes back to the Rockefellers. This is way back. I'm not even talking about today. I'm talking about 1800 when they created this system. And that's where the retirement plans, the 401ks, all of this comes from, kind of trapping you into a system where you give your time, and your time is worth way more than money, right? Your time is worth way more than money. That's why I don't even say time, I say life, because that's what you're giving. You're not giving your time, you're giving your life. If you're giving your time, that's like 10, 20 minutes. 8 hours, that's you giving your life to a corporation, a company that could replace you and not give a shit. You could die tomorrow and they will have somebody fill in your spot within 2 weeks. That's why they always say, give me your 2 weeks. You make it your 2 weeks notice, because within 2 weeks. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to quit my job. I'm not saying you should quit your job, but I'm challenging who's ever watching this video and my own thinking as well to kind of think of things in a different perspective and dedicate ruthlessly to entrepreneurship, to creating your own system. There's a quote, and I forgot this guy's name, sadly enough, but it says that I have to create my own system or I will be enslaved to someone else's. You have to create a product, a service, or you will be enslaved to somebody else's product or service. If you're not monetizing what you can do for other people, then somebody else will monetize you for you, because at the end of the day, we all need money. It's a foundation of society. So, you don't want to get on the internet, you don't want to make YouTube videos, you don't want to make music, you don't want to do what you truly want to do, right? Because you think it's cringe, you think it's weird, or whatever, you have some type of feeling towards it. Cool, that's awesome. Well, guess what? You're going to sell somebody else's product that you're not passionate about. And what's actually going to happen along the road is You are going to make less money because you're not passionate about it. Think about someone who's passionate about real estate versus someone who's just, oh, I'm in real estate for the money. The person who's actually passionate, they're going to work those sleepless nights. They're going to wake up early. They're going to be thinking, how can I sell this house? How can I do this? How can I expand my knowledge base? They're going to work harder than the guy who's just in it for money. The guy who's just in it for money is going to come out in 2-3 years. He's going to be done. Versus the guy who's really in it because he's passionate about it is going to be there for a longer amount of time. So if you're not passionate about your 9 to 5, you're going to be stuck making the same money because you're not going to have the perseverance or the passion to get to those higher levels versus something you're actually passionate about. That's it for today's pep talk. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.